Today, I'm going to showcase to you 5+ tricks that actually work here on Mirage. I'm not going to give you some gimmicks and crazy things that are not going to find you any success today. I'm going to give you things that pros are actually using, some really cool tricks, some cool gimmicks, and just some things that maybe you've never seen. Or maybe you do know about these, but you're just not actually utilizing them in your day-to-day play on Mirage. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'd love to continue teaching you guys. I just launched a second channel too, where we do in-depth demo reviews, analysis of actual players, and we teach you the real stuff on how to improve. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it, guys. The first gimmick slash trick I want you to understand is actually here on Mirage. You can see under Balk when you climb up on this Tetris, or I mean not Tetris, these little boxes here, we can see under Balk, right? So if you can see, we can actually see through this little gap, and it also works the other way around, right? So if someone's ever climbing up and once this little dot goes away, I can show you. Maybe it's there forever. We can actually see through here, right? So that's going to allow us to never get caught off when people are jumping up here. And if we know the trick, it's going to allow us to see people in these positions underneath Balk. And you know, this one's really good, right? So if you see somebody there, you can get a free kill on them, and they're like, dude, like, how does this guy even know that I'm there? Under Balk, it's really good too. If you want to get up on this break, you can actually see on top of Tetris, and that's what I was talking about. You can see when people jump up here and they have no clue why they're getting shot at. So again, it's just a really cool mechanic, a really cool trick that you should utilize here on Mirage. But before we get into the rest of the tricks and gimmicks, I do have to give you a message about Counter-Strike 2 skins.
Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, KOJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description.
Alright guys, the next gimmick, I've talked about this so much on Mirage, it is so useful, is the silent stairs jump. So what you're going to do is you are going to jump from Tetris and tap S right before you land. And what this is going to do is make it completely silent when you land on stairs here. It's so good at catching off these players, right? I do this in top 10 ELO Face It Pugs and FPL and league matches against super talented players. And the beauty is that you can actually do this while the smoke is there. We tap S, and then once they keep spamming, they're done spamming, shooting all their bullets, we jump out here, start running them down and stuff. And bonus points, by the way, if you have a Mac 10, because if you have a Mac 10, you can do some crazy things. You can jump up here and then jump around, jump on their head, and spray down everybody. I love making the play. It's one of my favorite gimmicks here on Mirage. Now, another little positioning thing that you need to keep in mind is when we are sandwiched, we can actually see through this gap, right? So this is something that's important to know as the CT, but also the T. It's really useful because we can actually see maybe if we could spot somebody in that sandwich position before we even peek them, right? So we can see all the way to here, right? So if they're kind of sliding around a little bit or something, or maybe their head spots, you can spot their head. So it's just a really helpful, cool little thing to think about when you're playing on this map. Now, another cool little gimmick that can be extremely useful when you're fighting a guy in jungle, a lot of you know this, is that you can actually see through this little gap and kill a jungle player as he's peeking through here. It's such a hard position too to also like die from because they don't expect it, and even if they do know you're there, that's an insane shot for them to try to hit. You'll probably at worst get dinked through that, so it's not bad at all to play there. Now keep in mind that you will be exposed from our next trick, which is actually insane, is guys, when you're a CT retaking site, it is so beneficial to actually hop up on top of these little benches and get up into here, because if somebody is like behind default or behind Firebox and you get the right angle on them, you can actually see all of their head, right? You can see their head, and I've gotten a lot of headshots. I've died a lot to good players doing that too when I'm in these positions. That's why it's also really important as the T to make sure you're crouching here and make sure that you are actually like behind cover, because if you're not, you're gonna get punished. It's gonna be really bad for you, and you're gonna give away unnecessary information. Now, another little cool trick on Mirage specifically is actually that we can shoot through these little default boxes. So if somebody is planting the bomb here and you have an op, or I think even a rifle we can spam through, right? Can we spam through with a rifle? Let's see, we'll spam high, we'll spam here. Yeah, you can actually spam through with a rifle too. So I don't know how much damage it's necessarily gonna do. I think it does a decent amount. It's just something that not a lot of people know. And obviously, like, you're not gonna be able to spam through this side, but if you spam specifically through, it looks like this right here. Boom, easiest damage of your life, and you're gonna get some free kills on people. So maybe get into a server and fine tune it so that you can actually get your bullets going through. I know with an op it's very effective, but just something very, very nice to think about. So guys, for our next little gimmick, we are going to go here to Mirage middle. As a CT, my favorite thing to do when I'm regressing up here is to look through the bottom of this to see where or if somebody is there. People don't realize that when they're just chilling here, hiding, doing their thing, like chilling around mid boxes, that they're actually vulnerable to somebody spotting them underneath here, right? So I'll keep my crosshair placement here, and then I'll glance on my screen. Oh, he's there. And, you know, I'll spam him, and he'll be like, dude, like, how is this guy killing me, right? Like, I'm behind cover. How is that not a wallbang? How is he not, you know, how is he cheating, right? And this is the thing, guys. A lot of you want to say people are cheating in their games, and sometimes they are, right? Like, Counter-Strike is full of cheaters. But sometimes you're just playing against some really good players that know mechanics and gimmicks like this. And if you can start doing this, they're going to think that you are cheating. All these players are going to say you're a cheater. You can get that little ego boost. It's going to feel really nice and very, very good. So it's something to think about when you start doing these things. Now, let's go ahead and skip over here to B site. A cool gimmick if the CTs never break vents is to play in this position. It's really surprising, and for some reason your gun doesn't stick through. So when they come through here, they can't see you at all, by the way. Like, look, you know what I mean? Like, from a distance, they can't see you, but you can completely see them. So when they come into market, it's a free kill and so easy. A lot of times they are going to break it though, so it's not the most beneficial. One thing I like to do as a T once I've taken sight is I like to jump up here and then hold murder hole from this position. Because if somebody is rotating in, do you see how they, unless they crouch, they literally cannot shoot you. They cannot get you, right? So I love doing that and cutting off jungle rotations. If somebody comes from CT, it's a little bit more of a fair fight. It's more of a 50-50 fight, but you'll still have the benefit of the doubt with the surprise right there. So it's really good. Now, lastly, the gimmick I want you to really think about here on Mirage is going to be a little team play. So this is a little bit of homework. I want you to send this to a duo that you can do with him. And also, before I show you this last trick, guys, if you want live coaching from me, if you want to pay me to be your coach, I have a link in the description of this video. I love to work with you and help you take your game to the next level with some of these tricks, some of these mechanics, some of these gimmicks, and just understanding what your weaknesses are and how we can get you to become a pro. But without further ado, the last trick, the last gimmick is utilizing a bait setup, right? Very simple, but I wanted to end with something very practical that you can use across any map, where if it's a map like Mirage, you can have somebody jump spotting here, right? We think it's going to be B. Maybe we had somebody walk through A. Mid's quiet. It's obviously going to be B. You have somebody jump spotting after you have someone boosted or jumping up here early, because what are they going to do? They're going to see this guy jump spotting. They're going to try so hard to chase him down, right? He's jump spotting. Maybe they're dropping a smoke and then running away back here, playing their life. And then this guy gets to absolutely farm because you sold the fake. This is already a pretty sneaky position, but when we implement little baits, bait and switch, like stuff like that, it is so valuable. It's something that is going to catch off even good players because they're thinking ahead. They're trying to think ahead. And when you hit them with something like this, they have no idea. And they're like, oh, bro, that was a 200 IQ move. Right? So I wanted to share with you some of my knowledge, some of my wisdom today on Mirage. Let me know if you like this video. I might do this for other maps depending on how much traction this video gets. If people actually want to see this kind of stuff, I love to do Dust 2, Inferno, Ancient, all these different maps, right? I'd love to do everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to help me, hit that subscribe button, share this video with all of your friends, and leave a comment down below. Let's keep growing the community and really help me out with the second channel as well. I'll catch you guys all later. Peace out. Peace out.